We all know that eating junk food, eating fast food, drinking energy drinks, we know that these things are not good for us at a fundamental level. But why do we keep doing them? Why do so many people in our society keep doing them? Why do so many people still eat junk food and fast food if we all know that it's not healthy for us? That's that's such an important question. And honestly, like I think what a lot of people think is that doing these things is a form of living life, right? Drinking alcohol is living your life. Going to parties is living your life. Eating the McDonald's here and there is living your life. But if we really dive deep into this, is that really true? Is that experience of eating junk food really enjoyable? Do you feel better after eating junk food? Because I know I don't feel better after eating junk food or drinking alcohol. I don't feel better, but I think society has kind of shown us that that is what living life is supposed to be. And we've been marketed all of these all of these companies, right, market so heavily towards junk food, right? We've been seeing McDonald's ads since we were like little kids, and oh, it's so tasty and enjoyable to have McDonald's. And we've just been brainwashed with this information ever since we were kids. So now we've just grown up to believe that, yeah, it's enjoyable to go eat McDonald's. But when you actually think about it, if we never were exposed to McDonald's, would we even like it? And I think a good example of this is if you take someone who's never had McDonald's before, right? Or never even heard of McDonald's, right? I have some cousins in India who've never heard of fast food or McDonald's or anything like that. And when they have it, they think it's disgusting. And I think we probably would have the same reaction if we weren't conditioned to believe that these things were good for us and these things were us living our lives. And I think I recently watched the Brian Johnson Jubilee video where he's surrounded by 20 people who supposedly disagree with him. And this was one of the topics that came up. And a lot of people were disagreeing with Brian Johnson's whole anti-aging, don't do things that will get you closer to death. Essentially, don't eat junk food, don't eat things that are bad for you. One of the main disagreements was that in the pursuit of extending your life, you're avoiding the things that we think are living life. But I think Brian Johnson actually defended his point very well. And he said, do you know any better? Do you know what it's like to not eat junk food? Anyone who's ever had an extremely clean diet for a few weeks knows that all the junk food stops tasting good after your body gets used to not eating it, right? I used to be addicted to crumble cookies, okay? I loved crumble cookies. I would get the new flavors every single week, right? And you have no idea. I looked forward to the time where I would go get the crumble cookies. But when I stopped eating the crumble cookies, after about 2 weeks, I tried one again and I was like, this is way too sweet. It doesn't even taste good. Why was I eating this? This was 1,000-calorie cookies. Why was I even doing it? It was literally making me an unhealthier person. So do we just believe all of these bad things that we know are bad for us are us living our lives, or do we just not know any better? And I tend to believe that the second option is true. Maybe we just don't know any better and we should just do the things that are healthy for us. We should take a page out of Brian Johnson's book.